What up, those in music scene? We got all the action, all the smoke. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we drop another banger. We got Mike Tyson and Lil Boosie. So they did an interview, Mike Tyson Hot Boxing podcast. And so it was a great interview to start off. I'm going to say that. A lot of people is passing around this 2-minute and 50-second clip. Mike Tyson asked Boosie a specific question about homosexuality. Specifically, it was about the Dwayne Wade comment that Boosie had made when he was going in on Dwayne Wade about Zion, Dwayne Wade's son, about him allowing him to become a her to get his man part cut off. And so people were saying that Boosie didn't have the same energy that he would have with certain people, that Mike Tyson had him spooked, and all type of stuff. Now, what people didn't tell you is that the interview actually was 45 minutes long, and Mike Tyson asked Boosie a lot of questions, and the way he asked him was the same way, and it wasn't Mike Tyson was saying that Boosie was a homosexual, because that's what, can you say that on YouTube? Well, anyway, that's what people saying, that Mike Tyson, punked Boosie. Mike Tyson said that Boosie was in the LGBTQ community, all that. That's not what happened. I'm going to break down what actually happened. So this wasn't a regular interview. This was more so like a therapy session. It was more so like Mike Tyson was deriving stuff and trying to figure out stuff from Boosie. And so the way he was going about doing it, Mike Tyson was making Boosie, his life sort of parallels to his. Mike came from the street. Y'all know New York. If y'all know anything about Mike, he had people who was actually gangsters, killers. Like, he got homies that he had that got killed. It was alleged that he put hits on people. People had hits on him. In New York, all type of stuff. So Mike Tyson was saying, like, as we come from the street, a lot of ways that we act, as we be, young men coming up in our communities, the way that we act. The way that we feel like we have to do stuff. We have to have jewelry. We have to have cars. We got to have, be, a gangster, different stuff. He was even mentioning, like, why do we feel like we got to get people back when they do something? He like, because people will kill us if we don't. Just say, for example, what he said. Somebody did something to you and you don't kill them or you don't retaliate, your people, somebody kill you, because that's just the way it goes. It's like you weak or whatever. And so he was just saying, we really just want to be a certain way, but, we can't be. So in a certain way that we are, we don't really like it. Like, we respect it, but we don't like it. We don't want to have to be like this, having people around, paying for them and stuff. Mike pretty much said, I pay people to like me. I wear the fancy clothes. They like money, all this. But if they really knew who I was, they probably wouldn't like me. And so he was making parallels like that. Like, he said, for instance, about loyalty. They was talking about, like, loyalty, like, what is it? And then he was like, why do you feel like people got to be loyal to you and stuff like that? Like, are you loyal to them? And Boosie said, yeah, they go to jail, I get them out, I bond them out, I take care of their kids, their family, or whatever. I do this for them, and, if they need anything. And then Mike said, so what do you expect from them? Then Boosie pretty much said he don't expect nothing, just for them not to turn on him. And then Mike was like, but, like, why? He said, pretty much you can't buy that. You can't, like, buy loyalty. You can't, like, with the stuff you do, it won't keep somebody from being loyal, no matter how genuine you are. He said, because it's in them or it's not in them. It's in their DNA. And so the way Mike was breaking it down, it was like opening Boosie's eyes and even people that was watching it. Like, the interview was kind of weird at a lot of certain points because the way Mike was leading off, but by the time he finished, he smoothed it out. And Boosie saw that and Boosie respected it. First of all, Boosie respect Mike, so he wasn't jumping out the window trying to, drop his nut, nothing like that. He was being respectful. He was letting Mike talk. And then when Mike smoothed it out, he actually was getting some jewels out of it. And if you watch the whole 45-minute interview, you would see that and you would get that. And so when Mike initially asked the question, like, why you feel like, pretty much the person owe you loyalty. Now, right there in the beginning, the average person, and even Boosie might have been thinking, like, because that's how it go. If I'm loyal to you, you're loyal to me. But when Mike broke it down, you can't buy that. Like, it don't matter what you do, they either gonna be or they not. Like, if it's in them to be loyal in their DNA, you ain't got to get them nothing. They're gonna be loyal pretty much. just because they gotta sleep with themselves. They gotta look themselves in the mirror. That's just how they made. Like, it's on them. And so when he broke it down like that, Boosie kind of was looking. You could tell Boosie was like, dang, that's right. And so he was dropping other jewels like that. He even touched on about, Boosie. They was talking about like Boosie, and Mike was saying like, we feel like we gotta have, because I didn't even know Mike was married, but they touched on that. So Boosie was just like, pretty much, and if you know Boosie, he pretty much said he probably not gonna get married or whatever again, just to be like having no one woman. But he was telling Mike he don't want to be like, pretty much in so many words, that vulnerable to a chick, like give her that much power. And Mike was saying if somebody can control your emotion, and he led off with like, if somebody do something to make you mad and act in a desired way, they controlling your emotion, they control you, they slave. And so that led to, they was talking about like, chicks and why we gotta have more than one chicks, why we can't settle down and stuff like that. And Bucci was just saying like, pretty much so many words, he never been hurt and stuff, and he ain't trying to like, the woman that much power, and so he ain't open himself up to just be like that with just one woman. He was saying it, like, pretty much if he had to do that, she had to be understanding like it might be time when he want to like indulge with other women. She got to be like okay with that. She got to be okay with that happening or whatever. Like, I'm here. This us, but this just a little temporary thing, a little something. I want to indulge in. And so, but he was just saying, far as just having like one woman and just her, and he was saying he don't like he can't be that vulnerable. Pretty much, he can't let himself be that open. And Mike was like, like why not? He was like you could. And he was like, but see, what the thing is, we be looking for women to like love us like our mama. And they weren't talking about no weird stuff. But like I say, you have to hear the whole thing, how they say it and how they finish off and smooth it out. And so then Boosie was like, you can see his eyes lit up, like he looked at Mo3, his artist that was there with him. He looked at him like, dang. Then he was like, oh, Mike, he was like, that's a song. Hey, I gotta use that. And he was like, Mike pretty much was like, she'll never love you how you want her to do, because she'll never love you like your mother. And so she only can love you like how she love you or whatever. And so, in case whether she toxic or not, whatever, however she gonna be, that's how she gonna be. She not gonna love you like your mother, whatever that unconditional love is, whatever that feeling you get from your mother. You never gonna find that. So you know how a lot of time people say, I look for the guy that I could see like my father in, or like a woman that that remind me of my mama, like. And so what Mike's saying is that like it can't be that, like that's just like it's not made to be like that. And so Boosie was like getting Jude. So we fast forward to when he was talking about the homosexual part, like about the Boosie going so hard on Dwayne Wade. And so the way Mike was doing everything, like I say, was like therapy. Like he would like make the parallel to them being street dudes and why they have to do certain stuff because they hiding who they are, they insecure, different stuff like that. So a lot of stuff Mike was talking about him, and he was trying to derive from Boosie, is this the same thing? Do you feel like you gotta do this because of this? So he might drop some jewels and say, a lot of times we do this because of this, or we put this image out. But a lot of times we were just trying to figure out, okay, a lot of stuff that I do is because this, and a lot of stuff I did because of this reason. Could this be why you doing this? So when he asked the question to Boosie about you go so hard on Dwayne Wade and against gay stuff, why do you feel like you got the right to even speak on that, or anybody like who do we think we are as people? We think we got the right to speak on stuff, and like Mike is so deep, the average person ain't gonna understand it. And so Boosie gave his reason. Like just really because he was a kid. He was like, he already said like, I apologize to Dwayne Wade, but my issue was that his son is a kid and he don't have the mental capacity to make that decision at that age. Now if he older and he made that decision, he at the point to where he of age, that's cool. Because you gotta think about it. They got age limits on stuff. They got laws. You gotta be 18 and before you do any certain stuff. 21 before you can drink and different stuff like that. Before you can buy cigarettes. 18, all type of stuff. They got a age limit to be consensual. I.e., why R. Kelly in jail. If you could just say a kid at any age, they can do what they want. They can make their own decision. R. Kelly wouldn't be in jail, because some of the kids he was with, they was like right just under the legal age limit or right under. And so what Boosie's saying is they don't have the wisdom, they ain't been around enough to really make that. You know, you got a whole bunch of influences, a lot of stuff you seeing nowadays. You might think it's cool at one point to be like, I want to be a girl or something, but he say that later on he might not think that. So you don't want to let him cut his man part off while he's so young, because you know he don't really know yet. And so that's an accurate point. That's what Boosie always said, and he stood on that. And so people trying to make it like almost like they trying to cause a rift between Boosie and Mike on the interview. Boosie didn't like take it like that, and Mike wasn't going at Boosie like that. He was just trying to derive it. He was saying it in a way that nobody else would say. Ain't nobody really got the guts to really talk to Boosie and be like, okay, do you act this way because possibly you you trying to not show somebody who you really are because you're insecure. Maybe you don't really want to be like this, but you like feel like you gotta be like this. So that's how he was like trying to just talk to Boosie and get some understanding. And Boosie was listening, trying to get some understanding, because if you watch the whole 45-minute interview, you would hear Boosie saying, "Oh no, I'm letting Mike go. He dropping some game. I'm just trying to like get it or whatever." And so this 2 minute and 50-second clip, I seen it on Academics Instagram, scroll down, seen it on Charlemagne. So I don't know who's actually putting this out here, what the agenda is. Like it'd be agenda sometimes, like why that's the only clip that's floating around, because Mike had a lot of interesting questions. He derived a lot of different stuff to where we got some understanding on stuff to make you really think. Even if you a street dude, you could really understand, like, dang, like this deep, like I ain't understand it like this. And so I don't know why that other stuff not going around, but you gotta watch the whole interview to really get it. And I want y'all to watch that whole interview and come back and tell me what y'all think. Matter of fact, drop a comment before y'all watch the whole interview and let me know what y'all think. Then come back and drop another comment after y'all watch it. And that was a great interview. I don't think nobody could have done a better interview than that. With Boosie, because Boosie came there already. He respected Mike, so people expecting Boosie to have a certain image. Like if Mike was trying to play him, he should have turned up. But like Boosie had pacing and he was trying to understand. And so even when it was points where you could tell Boosie wasn't really feeling and understand, he kept listening to see what Mike was going with it, and Mike always brought it home and smoothed it out to where it made sense. And it didn't feel like that he was trying to love boy Boosie or none of that, or like say he was some type of way, or say he was with the LGBTQ community. None of that. It was that he was making parallels to his life in Boosie, stuff that he dealt with and deal with, and wonder maybe possibly that's what Boosie was dealing with. Then he gave some generalizations period on like black men and people coming up in the hood and different stuff like that. And so people can take a 2-minute 50 clip out of a 45-minute interview and run with it. And so that's just a snippet. And so what I want to say is, y'all go watch the whole interview and stop running with stuff. A little 2-minute and 50-second little clip. And that was a great interview. Salute to Mike. Salute to Boosie. And let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. And then right after this video, go watch this video on NBA YoungBoy being investigated. They saying TMZ saying that he was being investigated for that Bezo 187 interview that he did with Street Juice TV and stuff, other stuff he was saying on live. I'm gonna address that. Let y'all know what's going on. Get in the comments. Music Scene. I'm out. Check.